race night for the 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds. A great program. The highlight, it's race number 3. That's the 3-year-old Colts and Geldings final. Several stars stepping out here. Speak the Truth, Teddy Disco, Danger Zone, Bangkok DJ. That is going to be the race of the night, there's no doubt about it. Our 2 drivers in focus this weekend in weekend winners, Nathan Dawson and Angus Garrard. Leading driver Nathan Dawson, as expected, has a strong book of drives on QBRED Breeders Classic race night at Albion Park this weekend. He joins us now and he's in the hot seat. Nathan, appreciate the time.
Good to be on, Chris.
A lot of good drives for you, so let's go through them. We start race 1 with number 4, Saving Major Percy. He's been a little up and down, but that victory 2 starts ago was terrific.
Yeah, he mixes his form a little bit, but, you know, when the right horse turns up, you know, he's probably a force to be reckoned with. So if he can bring that form from 2 starts ago, he should be there again.
Is this the type of race that suits him on the weekend?
Yeah, it's a mile, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, he's got a decent draw there and he's got good gate speed. So, you know, it looks promising.
Decent draw, but potentially a little sticky. Do you need to be aggressive at the start with him?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're drawn 3 and 4 and you're a bit half-hearted, you get stuck out there. So you either got to go hard or just go back.
Okay, so is there a possibility that you might be able to find the lead, in your opinion, in this race?
Yeah, well, on his day, he gets out pretty good. So, you know, we're going to have a good look and, you know, go from there.
Okay, if he does lead, he'll be very hard to beat in this race.
Yeah, he will. You know, if he brings that form like he can, you know, he's got it in him.
Excellent. Race 2, this is a very hot race. There's just talent everywhere in this field. You're driving Call Me Keith. He looks perfectly placed here. 2 off the second row. There's going to be good speed throughout. How do you rate his chances?
Yeah, I really like the horse. You know, he's come a long way. Each time he goes out, he just keeps stepping up. So I'm pretty happy to be drawn on the back line, looking at that type of field and, you know, the speed on it. So if we can get the right trip, I think he should be finishing off strong.
Have we seen the best of Call Me Keith yet?
I think he's getting better all the time. I reckon his best attribute is probably his speed. So, you know, been driving him off the arm pretty hard, which using it there, but I reckon his best style of racing is probably just sitting out the back and coming with 1 run.
Do you expect a really solid tempo looking at that front line?
Yeah, I do. I'd be surprised if there wasn't. So, you know, if there is, it's going to suit us really good.
Okay, well, that's Call Me Keith in race 2. We move across to race 3, the first of our features, and this is the race of the night for mine. This is the Breeders' Classic 3-year-old Colts and Geldings, and the big boys have come out to play here. Teddy Disco, you know this guy better than anyone. He's second up here. First of all, how did you rate that first up victory?
Yeah, he's good. You know, he did what he had to, and he's come back a bit lazy, but, you know, he does what you make him do, and so I think he's still had a bit left in the tank. It would have been good to draw underneath Speak the Truth, but, you know, we've got really good gate speed, so we'll have to use it.
Okay, so Speak the Truth draws to your immediate inside gate 3. You're lining up in gate 4. Just first look, did you think you had enough speed to cross Speak the Truth?
I do get out pretty good, especially, you know, the first 50 is probably my best, so I think Speak the Truth, he probably musters a little bit, so, you know, the first 50 is going to be crucial to us.
Okay, given that Speak the Truth has had that little setback where he missed the gold bullion, is this the time to test him early and just see where he's at? Yeah,
I think so. He trialled the other day, but he was still pretty good, but, you know, you don't really want any setbacks going into a race like this, so there's always that little bit of, you know, doubt in the mind.
Ideally, you don't want to be left parked out?
No, I don't. I don't think I'll be left there. You know, I think something might come give me cover, but I think if I do, it probably won't be the end of the world. I can't see it being a hard run race, so it won't be the end of the world.
What's his best racing pattern? Where do you think he's best suited? In front, outside speed, coming off cover? Where's he best suited?
I actually think he's probably better following pace than having a last crack at them. He's got pretty good speed, but he's also good in front. But I think he's a bit more switched on the helmet and coming off it.
Okay, the other unknown is the distance, 2,138 metres. Any issues there?
I don't think so, no. He's a pretty strong horse, and as I said, he's got good manners and he doesn't, run himself into the ground. So I'm not too worried about the distance. Just trying to find a good spot early.
You've mentioned Speak the Truth. He rates really highly. But what about horses like Bangkok DJ and Danger Zone? How do you rate them?
Yeah, they're good horses as they've proved themselves already. So it's a good bunch of fields. So it's probably the one who gets the right run of the night and be the one that takes it.
Are you looking forward to the next 8 weeks, given that, you know, there's so much in front of him? He's got the Redcliffe Sales Series, he's got the Derbies, so there's a lot to, you know, take in, but it's exciting at the same point.
Yeah, there is. You know, I'm sure he's going to be better from this run Saturday night the more he races this time in. So it's exciting, you know, to see what's ahead for him, and, you know, it's a good chance Saturday night to start it off.
Terrific. Race 5, the 3-year-old Breeders' Classic final. Jeremy's got to go as your drive. She draws nicely here in gate 2. Is this a genuine step up for her?
Yeah, it's probably fair to say it's a step up, but I think she's probably a bit of an underrated mare. You know, if you look at her record, it's quite good for a horse of her age. So it's the step up, but I think, you know, she's going to need a bit of luck in running, but, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if everything went her way and she did pop up there somewhere.
Will she handle the 2,138 metres?
Yeah, I don't think the you know, the distance is a worry for her. She won over the longer trip at Redcliffe there a few starts ago, so, you know, I'm not too worried about the distance there either.
Who are you more worried about? B Jiggity, Goldie's A Delight, Racy Roxy, or Cat King Cole?
You know, they're all good horses. You have to take them all serious. So I think B Jiggity, she was pretty good Saturday night against the older horses. You know, Goldie's Delight's a good horse as well. So I probably couldn't pick one out of all of them, but yeah, they're all dangerous.
Okay, race 6 on Saturday night. Le Saffron going really well. He's a consistent type, thrives on racing, lands a good draw. He should be competitive here.
Yeah, he will. As you know, as you said, he's been consistent and he's racing well with a good draw. So if I can give him the right run, he should be thereabouts.
You've got speed to your inside, there's pace to your outside. Where do you want to be ideally?
Yeah, if I can, you know, just find a position up in the first 4, that'll be ideal. But, you know, it's a bit hard when you get shuffled back too far. So we've got the speed to make the decisions what horses we want to let go, and that's what we'll be doing.
All right, you've got airtime drawn directly on your back, and he's going really well. So it's a fairly strong race, this one.
Yeah, it is. You know, he's found his form again, airtime, and, you know, the rest of them are in good form as well. So, as I said, you know, that's the type of race with the horse with the best runs, probably going to be the one that wins.
Okay, race 7, the Colts and Geldings, 2-year-old Colts and Geldings Breeders' Classic. You're down on the emergency here, $1. First start, tough assignment, but if it's secured to start, do you give it any sort of hope?
Oh, yeah, it's probably asking a little bit first up into something like this, but yeah, we'll just send it around and hope for a bit of luck.
All right, race 8, the 2-year-old fillies final, and you're driving the Grog Mother, a last start winner. John Bazirio trains this filly. She looks really hard to beat in this field with the good draw.
Yeah, you know, we got the good draw, which is a bonus to us, and she's just coming into form as well. So all the starts have been good, but I was pretty pleased with the last start. So, you know, if we get the right type of race and the right type of run, she's going to take a bit of beating.
Bit of form coming out of that last start victory as well, which should hold up well on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's right. You know, there's form coming out of it, and, you know, she was pretty strong to the line as well, which I was pretty happy about. So fingers crossed, it's another one to the list.
Is there anything drawn to your outside in that final that could potentially get across, or you're confident that you can lead?
She runs the gate pretty hard. You know, you don't have to ask her. She just, you know, she's a bit of a funny mare. She's still learning what it's all about. So she runs it pretty hard, so I'll be surprised if anything got across her.
Okay. Is she still on the up? Is there still a little bit left in the tank?
Yeah, I reckon there is. Last start, you know, it looked like she fell in, but she's still learning what it's all about, and she switched off a bit on me, and then when they come at her, you know, she did let them pass them. So when she learns what it's about, she'll be quite a nice mare.
It does look wide away from the Grog Mother as far as trying to pinpoint, you know, a major threat. There's a number of fillies that you can make good cases for.
Yeah, there is. You know, it's a pretty even bunch of horses. You know, I'm pretty happy with my drive. I wouldn't change it for any of them. So, you know, fingers crossed for Saturday night.
The last race on the weekend is the Trot, and you're down to drive Garland Green. He's got to start off that back mark of 40 metres. Can he do it?
It's a tough ask, 40, but, you know, he's in good form, and he did it off 30 last week. So hopefully we can do it again this week.
The small field's to your advantage.
Yeah, it is, and, you know, he gets away good, so, you know, he makes light work of the handicap sometimes. So some miss away and we get away good, it'll be all for us.
What's up Majestic? Is he clearly the horse to beat?
Yeah, he's pretty good in his trial the holidays, so, you know, he had good form before that, so, you know, he's probably the one that stands out.
All right. Really solid book of drives there. Which one are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, probably Teddy. I think he's come back pretty good and he's one of the favourites.
All right. Race 3, number 4, Teddy Disco. Nathan, as always, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside in action.
Thanks, Chris.
Angus Garrard is now joining us to go through his book of drives for QBRED Breeders Classic race night at Albion Park this weekend, and he joins us now. Angus, appreciate the time.
No worries, thanks for having me on, Chris.
Busy night coming up with you on Saturday night, and we start in race 1 with Despondent. It's probably the wrong draw, the outside of the second row over the mile.
Yeah, it's not ideal, you know, but he is a horse that probably races best on the fence, so if we could get our way there and sort of be not too far back, I do think he's going well enough to take it.
It's a very open race, this first race, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think any one horse could probably win it and sort of wouldn't be too shocked. I think our guy is going well enough if the breaks go his way.
And the sectionals back that up. He hasn't been far away of late, and sectionally he's been really solid.
Yeah, for sure. I was really happy with his run last week.
Okay, well, that's Despondent. Race 1, number 10. We move across to race 2. This is a really strong race for mine. Manila Playboy couldn't have been any more impressive winning first up. You sat behind him last week first up. How did he feel?
Yeah, he was awesome, Chris. I really think that was as sharp as he's been, for me at least. And sort of his sectionals definitely backed that up. You know, I think he came home in sub 55, sub 27 on sort of a bad night. So, you know, hopefully sort of takes a little bit more improvement out of that, and he's definitely good enough to win this race.
Okay, well, that's important because I wanted to ask, how did he feel last week compared to previous times when you've sat behind him, but as good as ever, obviously?
Yeah, I think he was as sharp as ever, sort of off a helmet. You know, that speed he showed sort of from the 300 to, you know, go past them like he did, you know, you would have thought they were running home in sort of 29s, and they were really still moving pretty good on the front end.
Okay, this is a very strong lineup right through 1 to 10. They're all got really good records, really good recent form. Where do you want to be soon after the start from gate 3?
Look, I'm not really too fussed with him, Chris. You know he's got the speed, so if we could be in the front half of the field, you know, it'd be super. 1-1 would be ideal for him, but we've sort of just got to have a look across either way when the gate leaves, and we'll make up our mind what we do.
Were you surprised when this field was released how strong it was? Because there is plenty of depth.
Yes and no. I mean, you sort of probably don't expect to see the high quality across the board as much as there is in this race, but you know, being a $20,000 band 5, you know, they don't come around all the time, so I thought it would be a strong race.
Okay, and just on the way he won last week, that's a good thing going forward, right? The races are going to get stronger. Obviously the Queensland Sun, then the Rising Sun, they're obvious targets for Manila Playboy, but it was just good to see him come off cover like he did last week. Yeah,
100%. You know, he's really lethal off a helmet. You know, I don't think I've sat behind anything sort of any sharper, that's for sure. So, you know, as they get into the bigger races and they start sort of putting a bit of heat into it on the front end, I think it's definitely going to suit him.
Okay, race 3. This is the race of the night on the weekend. The 3-year-old Colts and Geldings QBRED Breeders Classic. Bangkok DJ, like his stablemate Manila Playboy, first up, he was able to get the job done. Is this the worst draw that you were sort of not hoping for on the weekend?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, Chris. You know, probably where he is sort of behind one of the better ones is probably an awesome draw, but you know, we're probably going to end up shuffled a little bit here. But in saying that, you know, it's his first time over 2100, so a soft trip probably won't hurt, and you know, he'll keep stepping up coming to the bigger races as well.
Break down that victory last week. How did you think he felt compared to the previous campaign? Did it go to script? How did you break down last week's win?
I thought he was super, Chris. You know, sort of the Murphy blind come off just after the start, and sort of wanted to get in pretty hard at stages there, and especially from the 400 when we sort of quickened up, and sort of cost himself probably, I'd say probably 15 metres he probably wins by if he went straight. You know, I could sort of never let him down. You know, the plugs were still in, sort of, I never turned the stick just because we were going sideways the whole way, and I was sort of waiting for someone to swamp us, but, you know, he really powered through the line, and felt super.
He's deceptively quick, this horse, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. You know, for such a big horse, you wouldn't think he'd ever turn a foot like he does, but I mean, he showed that when he sat in away we go off sort of slow sections that night and blew them all out the sprint lane.
This is a really strong race. Speak the Truth, Teddy Disco. They've got that advantage with the front line draw. How does this race play out in your opinion?
Oh, look, I think Speak the Truth definitely the one to beat. He sort of looks to have got the best draw on paper, and I think he'll be able to utilise that, and that sort of makes him very hard to beat if he finds himself on the front end.
Okay, you've got Danger Zone off the second row and he's immediately to your outside. Is there a possibility that you'll be looking to sort of find his back as quickly as possible, or you're content to just stay on the inside?
Oh, look, I'll talk to Shane sort of closer to the race. We haven't sort of had any in-depth discussions about it, but I'll talk to him, and I'm sure we'll go over that and what he thinks and how he thinks the horse is, and it is definitely an option.
All right. Race number 5, 3-year-old fillies QBRED Breeders Classic, and this is the all-important race for you. Cat King Cole is going to start favourite. There's no doubt about it. Last start feature race winner taking out the gold bullion. She's ODM Angus, as you know, so she's got the outside of the second row draw, and she's up to 2,138 metres. Is this an opportunity for you and the filly to put the naysayers to bed and say that she's the real deal?
Yeah, look, I think it is, Chris. You know, we were really happy with her run last time out. She did that very easy. I sort of only really asked her to move up the lane, and she sort of, I never turned the whip, never turned the plugs again, and you know, she did it well, and she was sort of pulling away again at the line. So I think she's heading in the right direction, and we all know how good she is when she's right, and I think this is a good opportunity to drive her sort of without using her off the gate as well.
2,138 metres. What are your thoughts on the distance?
I don't think it'll worry her at all, Chris. She had a workout here when the track just opened back up over 2,100. They only sort of went slow fractions. The track was a bit loose, but she still ran home in, I think, sort of low 28s and did it well. So I've always said she settles good on a helmet. She showed that in her trials, and I definitely don't think the 2,100 will worry her.
Weekend forecast, we're expected to get a heap of rain, in particular on Saturday itself. Will that be an issue for her?
I don't think so. I can't really see it being an issue.
Okay. Is the main danger the stablemate, B Jiggity?
Oh, you know, Bajiggity's racing really well. You know, she keeps stepping up as well, and this is another big step up to this grade, but, you know, she's one that could bob up, and I wouldn't be too surprised.
Okay, you rate the Dixon fillies, Goldie's A Delight, Racy Roxy, and even Mark Dux's filly, Always Be Me. They're in the mix as well?
Yeah, 100%. I was pretty happy when Racy Roxy and Always Be Me were drawn off the second line as well.
Okay, that's a good race. It's a great opportunity for you to claim another feature there with Cat King Cole. She's aiming towards the Oaks during the Tab Constellations. Race 6, another competitive race here. Jillaby Jackpot backs up from Tuesday. He was 4th on Tuesday. How did you grade the effort?
Yeah, we were happy with him. You know, they probably got home sort of in a bit of a slippery sectional for him. He's not that sort of horse that can just sort of turn the speed on, go from 0 to 100. So the race wasn't run ideally, but we were really happy that he still sort of stuck on quite well, and he finished with the sort of 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Okay. Race 7, the 2-year-old Colts and Geldings Breeders Classic. Ragazzo Tilly, the inside of the second row. How do you assess that draw?
I think it's quite a good draw for him, to be honest. You know, the one in front of us, Mullamaxel, he's sort of pretty handy, we think. And, you know, it's his first time sort of in this grade, first time at Albion. And, you know, they can sort of go silly in these races. So if we sort of aren't too far back on the fence and the splits come, I'm sure he'll be there. He's a beautifully bred horse, so there's still plenty of upside with this horse. He's still learning, but there's good improvement still to come. Yeah, 100%. He's definitely got something there, and Darren and Kylie both think, you know, we definitely won't see the best of him as a 2-year-old. Okay, race 8, the 2-year-old Fillies Breeders Classic. Mullum Ruby, this is her 5th start. Are you surprised she's still a maiden? Yeah, a little bit, Chris. She just sort of hasn't turned up in a race where it's been run to suit, and she hasn't sort of come up with the right draw at the right time. So she's definitely going well, and her racing manners are getting really good. She's sort of learning how to race, and her last start she was super unlucky, but they still sort of ran home quite quick, and she was never off her helmet.
Is the Grog Mother the horse to beat, or do you think it's fairly open, the 2-year-old fillies race?
The Grog Mother sort of looks to find the fence, and that looks ideal for her. That seems to suit her racing pattern, so she is going to be hard to beat, but I still think it's fairly open. Anything can happen with the 2-year-olds.
Can you slot in and find a good spot pretty quickly here?
I hope so.
All right. Well, she looks a good chance, no question about it. Mullen Ruby, of all the drivers, which one are you looking forward to most?
It's hard to go past Cat King Cole. You know, she's pretty classy and exciting, but Manila Playboy as well, he's been super.
Okay, well, it's a great book of drives for you. There's plenty of great opportunities. I wish you well. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
As always, a big thanks to both Nathan and Angus giving up their time and insights ahead of their drives on the weekend. Time now for a good gamble. I think we've got to be patient. Wait towards the back end of the program. Race 8, number 2, the Grog Mother. Nathan Dawson has the drive on this filly. He gave us a good push. She looks the leader. She's the filly they have to beat. So race 8, number 2, the Grog Mother, making her the best bet on the program. Remember, if you are gambling this weekend, please do so responsibly. We'll see you trackside. 9 races, early start. We start at 4:50 on Saturday night.